and her beautiful business. So we're live, Suzie Cheel, and welcome everybody. I am Lucia, and I am the founder and owner of Global Business Academy. And Global Business Academy was established to support entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, grow their success, and make money from Facebook groups. And basically that's what I do. I encourage all of my members in the group to an interview, because I believe that there is so much wisdom in our groups, in our in our network, that we don't know about, and we don't know enough about these people. So Suzie Cheel is the abundance queen, or the heart whisperer. I love the abundance queen. I think that is a fitting title, Suzie. So welcome, and thank you for being our guest. I'm really interested about your business and how your business came about, Suzie, because I do remember this story a little, but I'd like you to let our followers know a little bit about it. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Lucia, and thank you so much for asking me. And I hope one day we get to meet in person and give one another a hug. That would be great.
Absolutely. Oh, I've got a goosey all over. So I'm sure that's going to happen. The universe will make it happen.
I had a look at some of your questions that Reg sent me, and I just thought it's interesting. I want to go back 30 odd years, because that's how I went into business.
Right.
I've probably been in business since I was first a teacher, because I always did something alongside. I used to do tie dyeing and that when I was 21 and things like that.
Yeah.
I was a weaver, but I was a teacher, a trainer of childcare workers. I was an acting head teacher in TAFE in Sydney.
Okay.
At St George Tech down at Cogra. I'd been there for about 2 years. I'd been acting in this job and I didn't get it. I applied. I was assured I was going to get it. And the principal of the college said, "We can't afford to use you. You've got to appeal." And I said, "No. If they can't give me something on my merit, I'm leaving." And I had just started. I've always done something creative on the side.
Yeah, can see that.
Even though I was told at 12 in high school that I couldn't do art because I couldn't draw. Yeah. And I had back in the 80s and 90s, nearly $100,000 business. So from painting,
you could draw. From
and making quilts and things.
Yeah,
what I did was I set up something then, because I wasn't into using my own name. I set up something called Suzie Cheel, because that's what a friend said. Why don't Suzie Cheel, Suzie Cheel? So I did that, but then I became Suzie Cheel Hand Painted Originals. I had a very successful business from in my late 30s for almost probably 20 years. And then the market changed. Galleries weren't buying as much work. Things changed, and we moved. And I was an owner builder of a purpose-built studio. I've dressed lots of mothers of the bride.
Oh, wow!
Some TV stars who own my ties, and I've been to an event in Byron when we first moved up here about 18 years ago. And I saw people wearing my what were called Suzie Cheel batwing jackets. It was amazing. That was the problem. They were so well made and such good quality, they never wear out.
They never wear out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that. And then from that, I became a blogger, and reluctantly, but through Des, when we moved up here, I started making quilts. I have quilts collected around the world, and I have quilts that have won awards and things like that. So that was that part of my life.
Very creative, Suzie. Very creative, isn't it?
But how I came to the business I have now, which is about love and abundance, love and abundance, really. And I'm being drawn back to the art. I do this journaling and it says, Susie, go and pick up a paintbrush and things. So it's interesting. That's where I want to go back to. So the other thing, so the Heartless business came apart.
Yeah.
Well, and it was beautiful. You shared them the other day.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me a mug, please. And so what happened was, out of the blue, I landed up in Tweed Hospital, Med 1, bed 4, looking out over a little garden, and my kidneys totally stopped functioning. And yes, and one of my bags.
Had you been sick? Had you had any indication?
I had gone to the doctor on the Monday, and she had taken more tests, and I gone and given me injections, and no history of any of this in the family as well.
Wow.
And what happened was my kidneys totally stopped functioning. When Des asked the specialist, he said this much. So I had a choice, which is why I say I had life, death, or dialysis.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
In a hut, surrounded by a bed, all those med students and the specialists and whatever else. They said, well, you've got a 25% chance of living a normal life. Otherwise, it's, dialysis.
Dialysis, yeah.
I don't remember a lot of this, but Jess was there and I said, well, I'm going to meditate. I had just trained as a law of attraction facilitator at that time.
Yeah,
law of attraction tools, and I'm going home and I'll be healed. And Jess said they just thought I was mad. So 2 weeks later, I did go home. And other things happened along the way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How this message of love came was, I was second Saturday, I think, I was sitting in a dialysis chair. I had this journal.
Mm-hmm.
I was at that time using Doreen Virtue's healing cards, and I had actually trained with I was already reading cards and doing all that then.
Yeah. I follow Doreen Virtue. Yeah, I love Doreen. Yeah.
And so I sat there and I said, why me? By that stage,
natural reaction, right? Natural reaction. Why me?
No, and I got this huge download that said, Susie, when you fully love yourself, you will be healed.
Yeah.
And then you will share that message of love with the world. This will create ripples of change.
Yeah.
So my first reaction was, nah, I know all of that. I bought Louise Hay's book when it first came out. I've been through 2 or 3 copies of Louise Hay's books.
We discard so much, don't we? We disregard so much that we're told,
Yes, I've just met an interesting woman who used to run all of Oprah's businesses and own, and she's fascinating to listen to about how we continually keep transforming. And we do forget. We forget so much. We have got so many skills and
wisdom and
life experience and whatever else. So it's so that was that. And then I went on. It was a very long healing period. I had a relapse and landed back up in hospital. And I was having chemo, and they experimented with me doing plasma exchange. So I did heal. But the only challenge that happened for me was in the process of the drug that saved my life, which was prendosite, and something called cytoblastin. So I used to spend time 3 times a week in the renal unit in Tweed Hospital. Beautiful. They were so good. And then I would go into the cancer unit to have the cytoblastin. The problem with all of that, it damaged my bones.
Yes.
I lost teeth. Des was walking on the beach down at Rainbow Bay one day and said, oh, you're losing all your hair. So my hair is falling out and everything. And at that time, I met somebody else who I have helped heal my back. I have a brilliant osteopath now, but I still conscious of my back.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I was somewhere the other day standing at an event, and I thought, I can't do, I used to volunteer in galleries, and I can't do that anymore. I can't stand periods of time. So I do have an ongoing thing, but out of that came a gift. And I had just before all this happened, psychic friend of mine in New York, I won a reading. And it was going to be I can't remember what. Anyway, she decided to do a tarot reading. And at the end of it, she said, I want you to go to like a dollar store they have in the States and get a book and get some felt pens and whatever else. I said, hold on. I got a room in there that's full of paints.
Yeah, I've got one of those rooms.
She gave me a prescription. And I painted for 12 days. If you scroll back in my profile, they're there or they're on my website. And there's one card, I think there's one card from in here that I actually painted at that time. But the following year, I joined a woman called Melissa Dinwiddie's art thing. She gave us a challenge to paint for a week. So I started painting hearts. And in hospital, or just before I landed back in hospital, I decided to paint 45 hearts. Don't ask me why 45, but I decided to paint hearts to heal. Then I went on, and these cards, and the next deck that's coming, I painted a heart a day for 365 days.
Wow.
So somebody said to me, oh, but I said, I would never make cards with anybody else's art. I do not want to. I've got, Lucia bought my cards.
Yeah, I've got your cards. I love them.
With a painting this size, everybody gets a painting with them. And
that's mine.
Yes. The pink heart.
Yeah, the pink heart with the green.
Heart. That's your heart chakra, that one.
Yes.
I don't know why. Because you've got pink and things, I think I don't know. I just choose what comes.
Yes.
But Kia chose to buy my cards when I was doing a special, which was to for me, because everybody says they can feel my energy in the cards. Mm-hmm. Because I have channeled all the messages as well.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring this in. I'll bring it in for your group, but I'm also going to bring it in for my group for February, the month of love.
Love, yeah.
That anybody who buys the cards now, I actually shuffle the cards, I record it, and I do a reading for you. And the feedback I've had has been amazing. So
I love it. I loved the recording. I just loved every bit of it, Suzie. So
the idea came from a friend of mine in Canada who's a numerologist. We used to do the abundance show once a month on my page.
Yeah.
And when he bought the cards, he said, no, I want you to open them and do a reading for me.
Yeah.
He was here on the Gold Coast, so I did it then. But then I thought, this is a value add thing. So at the moment I'm doing it included with the normal price. But after the end of February, it will be an add-on. Because it takes an extra half an hour or more.
Well, it's your time, isn't it? Yeah.
So it seems to be a really nice addition.
Yeah.
And somehow, whether I'm doing a reading online or whether I'm doing it somewhere else, I tap into the energy of that person. I was on a call last week and people just believe it. So I just said, well, I don't know. It's just one of those gifts I have. I'm not really conscious of it. I just go with the flow.
Yeah, right.
So that's how I have what my business today is about to go back into art. I'm going to be selling a lot of art off so I can do new work that I want to come is eventually I will do something I've done before, which is called a heart whisper, a heartscape. You get your own heart whisper heartscape, and it's a whole process that goes back and forward, and it has that's one I've done, which is about 14 layers, and it goes backwards and forwards to each person. And these ones are going to be bigger on canvas.
Right. And sorry, Susie, it's almost like a heart aura, isn't it? It's almost like that heart aura all around you. You know, you.
I know, and I never see. I've been told. You know, when I had friends come and do sound healings for me when I was really ill.
Yeah.
And they would just say the room is just full of angels, and I don't sense any of that, but I sense a presence when I know when I go somewhere, and I get invited into a lot of groups, and I just can't. I've got to learn to say no, because there's only so much you can share.
So much of you, Susie. So much of you.
That's what my business now is. It's love. Well, I'm about to do a challenge that's called Love and Money. My passion is helping people love themselves into abundance, but it's really until we fully love ourselves, we can look in the mirror, and I have one here. We can look in the mirror and say, I love you, Susie.
And I do it on the phone, Susie.
Great.
I don't always have a mirror. I've got one behind me, but I don't always have it close. So what I do is I go into my camera and I say to my camera, I love you, Lucia. You are amazing. You're doing a fantastic job. There is always more money.
That is brilliant. That is, I mean, but I just like to say to you, I was on a call with a whole lot of business owners the other day, and people I've known for a long while never think to do it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Because that's where it starts, right? Self-love.
It affects the abundance that we allow to flow into our lives. It affects our health. It affects our relationships as well as our money.
Yes,
so
exactly. Yeah.
It's where you sort of start from.
Yeah.
And there's so many people our age who still
block the abundance.
Don't think it's important.
Yeah. So do you read, or you were saying about Doreen Virtue? So do you read, or do you do podcasts or anything like that at all, Susie?
I do a lot of podcasts.
Okay. You do your own podcast or just blog?
I've just gone back to blogging. I have been a blogger. I won a lot of awards for blogging.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. That's how I came online. Des, my husband, is I've been to 2 Blog World conferences in America.
Wow.
Des, when he started, we'd go out and he'd be talking about blogging. I don't want to know about blogging. So then I became a blogger. I became one of the top personal development bloggers, and it's how I have so many friends in America because I belong to personal and groups. The first print run of my cards basically went to the States.
Okay, right. Okay.
So that's been so it was through meeting Susie, or Susie approached me, I think, invited me into something.
Yeah.
And that's how we've met.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Susie Manley.
Yes, that's right.
I think I see Susie Manley as the connector. She just connects so many people to so many more people, but we all have that opportunity to be connectors as individuals. We can shut it down and not invite, or we can connect others, because there's so many people out there that we can grow and develop, everything in our lives. So
Des and I are seen as great networkers and great connectors. We put people together. But you're asking podcasts? Yes. I listen to a variety of podcasts, but one I found recently that people might be interested in
Yep.
is a woman who is Reinventing Yourself, Dr. Tara Schwartz. She's written a book called The Source, and I found her
I've heard of
because
that.
Dr. Tara, I can put it in the comments, Dr. Tara Schwartz, a book called The Source. She was a psychiatrist and a doctor, and she gave that up to really do mindset work, or your neuro gym, and all of that.
Neuroplasticity.
Yes, that's neuroplasticity. Now I found her through Lewis Howes.
Okay.
The School of Greatness. I love not all of his podcasts, but I mean, I'm fortunate. I met him in Las Vegas at Blog World many years ago. Wow. And I just love what he's done with that School of Greatness. And I love the idea of greatness is one of my words for 2023. Yep. Because if we can step into our greatness,
yes,
we can shine our light and bring in the magic, the love, and more.
Yeah.
I do read. I also read junk.
I love junk.
I read novels, and I love love stories and sagas and that as an escape.
Yes.
The book I'm reading at the moment and working through is Financial Alchemy, because I just interviewed Morgana. I interviewed Morgana Ray 10 years ago when she first, I used to interview authors.
Yep.
And she asked me would I do it again. And it's just been an amazing connection. She was on The Abundance show, and the book is, I decided, she sent it to me 10 years ago, and I did a bit of it. This time I'm really embracing it.
You're ready for it.
Yeah, well, she's going to come and do a masterclass for my group. So,
oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah. And she's amazing. She really, we're going to meet next year in Bali, 2020.
Awesome.
So I sort of, it's just like this year. I don't know. Amazing opportunities just coming through people.
Yeah.
You reached out to me, and I thought, oh yeah, I looked at it, and I had something else on, and then that changed, and I thought, oh yeah, I can do that. That would be great. And because I love it as well.
Yeah, thank you. The universe makes it happen. I just believe, intuitively, I believe that everything is how you want it to be. So, when you work with your unconscious and your conscious, it all works together. It all comes together. Can I tell you, I just ordered 3 books, although I did get 4 books because I pressed 2 instead of 1. So I have a book called
I've read all of those.
Yeah.
One of them, I haven't read Chillpreneur. I've got that by my bed at the moment.
Yeah, so that's the newest, I believe. She had
I know her newest one is called Chill and Prosper.
Oh, Chill and Prosper, rightio. I saw that and I thought I'd bought it, but I bought 2 Chillpreneurs.
Also has a podcast that's called Chill and Prosper, which is one I occasionally listen to.
Yeah.
Mel Robbins. Yes. There's part of it. She was being interviewed recently by I think it was Jay Shetty.
Yes.
And I borrowed something from Jay Shetty.
Yeah.
He wants to make wisdom go viral. I've decided you'll see I've put it on my Facebook. One of my passions is to make love go viral, because if we can make love go viral, like I was at a women's group last night, and there's these very talented young women there, but no love for themselves. They don't. And they're openly saying it.
Yeah, wow.
So I really, I know everybody says, oh, you should work with different age. You should have your niche market. But the love market, these cards go to young people, men.
Yeah, they go everywhere. Yeah.
So, and then this is the other part of my business I'm about to expand, is my printed yarn. So these are some of the hearts. These are some of the hearts I painted.
I can see a green and pink. I think I need one of those mugs, Suzie.
Well, I'll give you. So what I've been doing is putting all of my shop together again, and I make. You'll see, I make tote. We have tote bags. We have leggings, the whole thing. So I'm redirecting my business into being more of a product-based person, and I will still add in readings and things, but or people say when they get a reading from me, they get coaching as well. But I'm not actually running coaching programs anymore. It's a decision I've actually made.
Yeah.
I want to be an artist.
Yeah. So you want to retire, kind of, don't you? You
want to have not really. Probably never. I know I'm getting. Listen, I've just got into a group of women, and people are saying they're 70 and doing this. And there's a woman who's 80 who's written this amazing book, and she's a model. And somebody said, "Oh, you have to hang up your." She said, "No, keep going."
Never retire. Yeah.
Des is. I'm 74. For those of you who want to work out how old I am.
Congratulations. That's an amazing, a tribute to your tenacity to share your story, really, because
and I realized I need to share it more. I heard this from listening to a woman today. It's my responsibility to get out more, because more people can then benefit from that. And I have a mentor who's given me a fairly amazing challenge for the year. So but yes, and I have a mug that has love on it and freedom, and I'm going to be putting a lot more of the cards on. And then there's the Heart Whisper Wisdom deck coming, which is all the words that are missing from here. Because one of the first words it's half done. One of the first words, I thought, no creativity, Suzie. How come you got through without no creativity?
Because you were being creative. You were in the creating. Does sound amazing, Michelle Pollitt. It is truly an amazing journey that this amazing, beautiful woman who is sharing her love and making it go viral. I just absolutely love that. Making love go viral is such an important thing for everyone. And it's such, not just February, but, for the whole
year. And I was amazed. I just put a question up today on my page. What is love saying to you today? I mean, there's just all these comments there, because I've been hiding a bit, and as of today, I'm back out there. I just had to take some time out. Every now and again.
I think we just need to run our business easier, Suzie. Not so much of a, it was very masculine, very driven back in the 2000s. We've come to 2022, and it's time for that balance, so it's more feminine, masculine, so it's both energies. It's not just one or the other now. And I strongly believe that that love nurturing is very, very strong in women, but it's very, very strong in men too. I'm married to a really passionate man that tells everybody he meets how much he loves them. He's always sharing that message. He's very, very conscious of people that need that love. So
we'll have to get together. Whereabouts do you live?
I live on the Sunshine Coast. Coast. Yeah. So do you have a long-term game plan for the business, or is this just, it just keeps going?
No, I do I have a lot of statements I've made this year. I'm going to turn this into $1 million business. I want to have $1 million art and product business.
Yeah.
I want to change more lives through love, through colour, so that they can step into that. And my other passion is creating passive income, which is something else that I do. I have a team of people I work with that I help them create passive income. And this, of course, is going to be my own next passive income, because once it's up on Redbubble, which is where it is at the moment, and then it'll eventually be all on my website, it's there and people buy it, and once a month I get money in my check account or in PayPal or somewhere.
So it's giving you that
little bit of something else, so we can flow with ease, love, ease, and grace, and we can do the things we want to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Be, do, and have all that you are and all that you can be.
Yeah. I love flow. That's kind of my word for this year is flow. Business is about flow for me, embracing everything that comes, doors are closing, other ones are opening, and embracing that and being in flow with it, being okay, with whatever is sent to us. So, yeah, I'm really loving this year. It's been exciting already. I only just came back on the 1st of February. I've been on an extended holiday. And look, thank you so much for sharing with us, Suzie. It's been phenomenal. I am conscious of time. So if you could pop your link to your group and your personal page just in the chat, that would be really good. It has been coming up in the top here, your website.
Sorry. You know what? I haven't been in I don't think I clicked the right button. Look at all the comments.
Yes.
Hi, Paige. Hi, Femia. Hi, Michelle.
Yeah.
Rika. I hadn't clicked the comment. I'd forgotten that because I haven't used StreamYard for a while.
That's quite okay. So we will leave now. We have another business owner that we will meet from our Empowering Success for Entrepreneurs group. And we look forward to seeing you next week, where we'll have another interesting chat, interesting interview with one of our guest speakers. Thank you so much, Suzie. I really appreciate you and all that you thank you for sharing.
Thank you for asking me, and namaste.
Namaste. Beautiful. Thank you, gorgeous.